long time no see. This is Moggy at Half Acre Heaven, and I thought maybe I should check in. It's been a really long time. I will never be a famous or very successful YouTuber because I am not good at checking in and making videos, and also I am too impatient to do great editing. So you guys are going to get my hems and haws and intermittent videos. But I thought I'd check in and show you guys what's going on in the garden and yard today, and just say hi, see what you guys are all up to. Alright, so let's take a little walk out to the garden. So here we are in the garden where you can see there are weeds, more weeds, but also some good successes in the vegetable front. So you can probably see, like, on the borders and edges, tons of weeds, and that kind of comes back to that thing we were talking about this spring, where I was going to make better use of the space we have, but I'm not. I've kind of failed at that again, but let me show you what I have not failed at. I don't know if I might be too much in the shade here. I have some really nice looking cabbages, which I'll probably start harvesting these this week. Probably start with this bigger guy here.
Giant one.
So beautiful. And then
this one is a really giant one.
Yes, it's beautiful. And then we had some of our cabbages died, so we I popped in some collards and just filled in the blank spaces with some other stuff that we had. I think if I remember correctly, that's a spaghetti squash we got from a neighbor. And then it's a little tomato. It's called I think it's called Rocket. This one's not very big. They're super stocky. It's not gonna get very big, but I think this one was stunted from staying in its pot in the greenhouse too long. And then those guys are just collards and another one of those little tomatoes. And then I have here are German butterball potatoes, and then over here, if you guys remember, I got that Azure standard order of organic russets. We didn't get to the second bag on time and they sprouted, so I planted them and it looks like they're doing great. I accidentally, when I was weeding a couple weeks ago, I accidentally pulled up a couple pretty decent sized potatoes in the German butterball patch, so I think those are going to do good for us. And these, I can't remember if they already flowered. I guess we'll just wait for the plants to die back, but I have a pretty good little row of carrots here. This is it's been a few years since I got a successful carrot crop, so I'm really excited about this, and so are the kids. You can see some weeds I pulled there. I didn't clean them up yet. I kind of want to just leave them for mulch.
About the carrots, because I love carrots.
Yeah. Provider green beans never fail. I've never ever had a problem with them. They grow well. They sustain. They're great. You can forget about them basically, and they're going to produce a lot of beans for you. And then these guys are silvery fir tree tomatoes, and these guys actually got a little bit of frost damage. We had a late frost, and even though they were in the greenhouse, a bunch of them got frosted, and I think I had something like 27 planted, so we had enough survivors to make a go of it. Unfortunately, my Beaver Lodge plum tomatoes didn't fare quite as well. I need to weed over here again, but you can see they're super tiny. These plants are only like 4 inches tall and they're super spindly, but they're already setting fruit. It's crazy. We might only get the 4 tomatoes, but considering I thought the plants were going to die, it's not too bad. Something's eating my peppers. I gotta get out here this evening and spray with neem oil. That might be too late. We don't have very many strawberry plants, but we got a pretty decent little crop. I wanted to show you guys this cool little trick I figured out, which probably I'm not the first person to think of it, but you can actually, I really like these soaker hoses. They're just little 1/2 inch, kind of rubbery substance, but you can actually just pop drip line right into that if you have anything that you don't want to run a soaker hose to. So I have little drips up to my flowers and over to my squashes that are in tires. We got a pretty decent crop of asparagus this year, and I'm still kind of letting them go to seed every year because, sorry about all these weeds, I know. Anyways, we're letting the asparagus go to seed still. A couple more years and then we'll start doing a full harvest. We've had a lot of peas, more peas than we can eat really. I'm probably going to pull these vines, just give them to the chickens because they're starting to get tough. We haven't kept up with them. My daughter eats them. She'll just come out and grab them. But they weren't quite as sweet as some of the other varieties we've grown, so we didn't eat them as well as I thought we would. We're already getting a lot of zucchinis, and I found squash bugs yesterday. So yeah, you can see some on this flower here. Oh, let me see if I can get in there. Oh, well, there's some right here. This is what their eggs look like. So I'm going to come out and spray tonight after the sun sets with neem oil, and hopefully that'll work. But it's not really slowing these plants down at all. We're getting a ton of zucchini.
Are you happy to environment your plant?
Yes, thank you, dear. Anyway, that's the garden. Let's go take a peek at what's happening in the greenhouse. So here we are in the greenhouse where I have some cantaloupes growing. I just grew these in a pot and they seem pretty happy. Only issue with the pot is you do have to stay on top of watering, but I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little melon right there. And where did I see another one? I saw another one when I was out here this morning. Maybe it's back there too. Where are you, little guy? Anyways, I saw another good size, oh, here he is. Another good size little cantaloupe in here. I've never tried growing cantaloupe, so this is my first attempt, and so far so good. And then I also have some watermelons in here, and also in a pot. I intended to take these out of the pot, but again, they just seemed super happy, so I left them in there, and we have several good sized little melons growing in here too. I think we'll have some success here. Again, the hardest part about containers is you just have to really stay on top of the water. And then I have a sweet potato that was really just an experiment. Get some weeds out of there. I have no idea how to grow these. But I know they like it hot, so I put it inside of a container that's kind of inside of some compost. So we'll see how that goes. I might just be growing a pretty vine. See if we can, there's another little watermelon there. And let's see, I think I saw one down there. Yeah, so lots of good little melons growing in here. Really happy about that. That's pretty much all I have going in here right now. It's really hot. We'll see how they do as summer progresses. We're really excited to start eating these melons. Anyways, just thought I'd check in, and thanks for stopping by. We'll catch you next time.